right, boys, sharpen your pencils, because I'm going to take you to school again.
Hi, welcome to Inside the Lines at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 4 in the CFL right now, and on Friday, Toronto heads into Winnipeg, and this game opened at Pick'em, but it's since gone far in Toronto's favor. They're now a 3.5-point road favorite. The total's 52. There's probably several reasons for this movement, but the main movement came after the news that Winnipeg's leading receiver, Corey Watson, was injured in practice on Wednesday and will be out for this game. That's a huge loss for Winnipeg. Watson was not just a key yardage receiver, he was also their best blocking receiver and a key to the running game. But even before Watson went down, Winnipeg was having major issues on offense and other injury issues as well. The offensive line wasn't protecting quarterback Buck Pierce at all. He was constantly under pressure in Week 3 and got sacked 6 times, and the running game was non-existent. And their injury issues were so notable team-wide that Coach Tim Burke actually skipped an early week practice this week because of it. Some of the injured guys will be out, but some will play, perhaps a bit banged up. And another negative with that is that they'll be playing this game on a short week this week. Winnipeg's last game was Saturday, while Toronto will be off a long week. Their last game was on Thursday. So things were already looking bad for Winnipeg before Watson went down, and changes were likely to come anyway, and now without Watson, it's just looking like a mess for Winnipeg on offense. And additionally, Winnipeg's also had an easy schedule so far, and while Toronto's not quite an elite CFL team at the moment, they should be the toughest team that Winnipeg has played so far. Montreal's dysfunction is well known by now, and Hamilton is a lopsided team, very weak on defense. It still nevertheless gave Winnipeg some trouble on offense in Week 3. Toronto, though, is coming off of 2 straight losses to arguably the best 2 teams in the CFL, BC and Saskatchewan, and they should be hungry for a win here off a long week against an opponent in disarray. Toronto does have their issues as well. Key offensive player Chad Owens was banged up after the last game, and the first 3 weeks have been very physical games where he's taken some big hits, and he's not that big of a guy. So even though he's not officially injured, he is probably at least pretty battered up. And the Argos defense is also not looking like an elite unit. They were able to hold down the 3 tough offenses that they've faced so far at times, but still nevertheless wound up in one way or another giving up points and yards, and they've currently given up the most points and rushing yards of any team in the league. But again, facing the current Winnipeg offense this week will be a far, far easier assignment than Hamilton, BC, and Saskatchewan in the first 3 weeks. One plus for Winnipeg, though, is their defense, which could prove to be one of the league's better defenses this season. They lead the league in sacks at the moment and have gotten good pressure on the quarterback, and it will be a telling matchup to see how they fare against Toronto, who's given up the second fewest sacks in the CFL so far, and quarterback Ricky Ray is also yet to throw an interception. But again, those defensive stats for Winnipeg could be a bit misleading as they played 2 of their 3 games so far against Montreal, a team that started the year in complete offensive disarray. So to sum it all up, this game will feature a hungry and a bit frustrated team with talent in Toronto playing against a team in Winnipeg that's having all kinds of issues on offense as well as injuries and playing on a short week. So even though the line has already moved a lot, my pick in this game is still going to have to be on Toronto at -3.5. Winnipeg could keep it close if they maintain their defensive production and drastically cut down on their penalties. My general sense is that it's going to take more than a few days to fix the issues they're currently facing on offense.